I thought I might come on today because I've been doing a lot of didactic chatter and I want to talk more about soft skills and the importance of soft skills in the educational setting. Because I do feel, and research has shown, I was reading a New York Times article about how some people, especially in education and in corporate too, they've lost that touch or they've lost that humanistic feel for each other. Basically, we don't trust each other anymore because some of us have been very isolated, or we all have been really isolated. And it becomes a problem, especially for educators, because we're teaching kids. I don't care if they're high school or pre-K or students that are in college. We are teaching the next generation, and if we as a staff or as an instructor or a teacher or what counselor, whatever you might be, or what have you, if you feel like you don't feel in connection anymore, that can be a problem. And soft skills are very good for that. Hi, my name is Dr. Nicola. I am one of the primary consultants here at ultradidactic.com. It really is .com, but ultradidactic educational consulting. And I really specialize in soft skills, and classroom management. But I truly believe that unless you have your staff at one, you can work on behavior, you can work on test scores even, and you won't get the same success. So it's very important that we as a staff, we're working as one unit too. Now, of course, we're different, this and that, come different backgrounds, different educational backgrounds, work ethics. Everything is different. But one thing is the same. Soft skills never change. Soft skills never change. Soft skills are what allowed me to be a high performing educator for 28 years. And I have the evaluations, I have the different jobs I've done to prove it. I worked on different committees because I was able to handle myself. And during during the pandemic, I called on a lot of these soft skills to help me through because soft skills are not about fixing someone else. I think sometimes, and we do talk a lot about the problems that if someone is bothering you or someone is not working in coherent and cohesiveness with you. Yeah, that is a problem. That person is maybe a problem, or this person may be a little much or too much of a gossiper. But soft skills is what you handle. It's how you deal with things. It's how you make yourself better. And soft skills are not just about looking at someone else's faults. You yourself have to evaluate what you may need to help with yourself with. Help yourself. Soft skills are time management, conflict resolution. But today I want to talk about something that a soft skill that I was working with a school district in Georgia, and I was working with just the paraprofessionals. And one of the paraprofessionals asked me this question: how do I deal with a staff member who may have more education, they're a teacher, and the assistant principals and so forth, they're always asking me to help out, and they make me feel as if I need to stop accepting, I need to stop and stay in my lane. And it made me feel like, oh, here you go again. You just brown nose and you want to be a teacher's pet. But obvious that this administrator is reaching out to this person. They're not disturbing this paraprofessional in their classroom arrangement. Just asking them, and it happens all the time. If you're an educator, you get pulled into a committee or you have a special skill. Someone asks you to do something, and she was concerned. She felt bad. She felt bad. That's another thing. Coming off the pandemic, our emotions, some of us are very still raw. And we even feel more. It's like you can feel. Usually before the pandemic, things would fly over, but now it's like you even can feel people's negativity a little more. And it's sad, but with soft skills and learn how to deal with it and realizing that okay, this is going on, it makes for a better situation. Well, back to her issue. She said how to, this particular teacher, not the teacher she worked with, rather, just some the teacher. I guess the teacher felt like she was more. I have more education. I'm certified. Why are you always asking this paraprofessional? She doesn't have the same certification. Basically, these things were said, and she felt really bad about that. It brought me to mind of this. Now, I'm using a scripture because I'm using a scripture as a primary reference. I'm not going to get preachy with you, but this is where I'm coming from, and the scripture reminded me of this. And the scripture was in 2 Corinthians 12:9, where it stated, "My power is being made perfect in weakness." Now, what is that about? When I go into it, research the scripture, it's talking about realizing that we don't all know, we no one knows it all. And just because I may have a doctorate, and I've had 20 years experience, and I've done this and I've done that, I've done committees and I've spoken at conferences. How can you, a paraprofessional, tell me anything? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. You are blocking not just blessings, you are blocking more knowledge from somebody just because you feel like they're not as educated as you or they don't have the same position as you. And I told this paraprofessional, if the boss wants you to do this and the boss feels that you're worthy, you can't really worry about anything else. And I told her, you know what helps get over feeling funny about when people come at you or you feel some kind of way? Being competent. Competency can help you get over any people's chitter chatter, anybody's gossip. When you're confident in what you do, truly confident, and when you think of it that way, but sometimes we forget because we're human. And it's one thing is true. When people say cougar family, lion family, as a school, we truly are a family. It might be a dysfunctional family, but in a sense, we are a family. We spend a lot of time with these people. And sometimes families need therapy. And that's where I come in. What I'm stating is this, that where you might feel like a teacher or a principal or someone or a counselor, and you feel like, well, I don't have that education, I'm not certified. I don't care. If you're confident in what you do, that's all that matters. And when you're confident, competency breeds confidence. When you're confident, you're going to have the confidence because you don't have time for anything else. Truly, I have no time for negativity. If this person wants to sit over here and talk about the fact, oh, Nicole is always asking her to do something. Oh, here we go again. Well, someone got to do it. So, and my thing is, I'm so busy doing my work and I'm so good at what I do. I have no time to worry about what you think of me. And it goes both ways. I've dealt with people who were paraprofessionals who had doctorates. I've dealt with people, paraprofessionals right now, lawyers. They decided that, hey, I don't want to do whatever I was doing my last profession. I don't want to be certified. They want to be a paraprofessional. They want to do what they're doing. Now that pendulum swings both ways because if you're going to go in those positions, also you can't come in and say, well, do you know who I am? Which was not the case in this situation at all. But it goes both ways. In weakness, we find strength because whoever and whatever someone brings to the table with their experiences, it goes beyond education. You have to be open to it because by you feeling like, oh, she doesn't have the same education I have, I've learned so much from paraprofessionals, especially when I first started. I started 25 years old, undergrad, went right into grad school, 25 years old, out of my mom and dad's house. And it was my paraprofessional, my library assistant, who taught me the ropes. I learned to be the media specialist from my library assistant, Ms. Young. Her experience, that woman knew it down solid. Did she have a master's degree like I did? No. But then on the flip side, she respected me. She looked at me like, oh, here come this young girl. But I respected her too. So that's a lot of it also. But when you feel like somebody just don't want to respect you, just feels like they just don't want to get you, or they make you feel like, oh, you're always doing something, and here I am with always degree. I'm certified. You're not certified. This and that does not matter. And when you're confident and you know what you're doing, and especially that's what the principal wants, he can't worry about it. And I guarantee you that person that's spreading the negativity, they're going to stop because when you keep on doing the fine works shine through. Fine work shine through. And as President Obama said, sunlight disinfects. So if you're bringing in that sunlight, people are going to see that you're good at what you do. As long as you're good at what you do, you stay humble, that gives you the confidence. That gives you confidence. And that is a soft skill. Competency is a soft skill. To be confident in what you do. When you're confident in what you do and you know what you're doing, not braggadocious, but I know my job. I like my job. You're not worried about anyone's negativity. And I truly believe when people come with the negativity and pointing out what needs to be done and how things should be done, first thing I feel is I have no problem with that. And that's another point. Be open up to criticism. Because if you're going to come to me about criticizing something that I'm doing, then I guess you're going to have me some solutions. I'm telling you, you're going to have to come to me with solutions. I don't look at anything negative, but criticism, critical thinking, critical thinking. You're being critical. Another soft skill. I have no problem with someone saying, well, Dr. Nicole, I really don't think that's going to work. Okay. Listen to what you have to say. I don't feel it's a bang on me, but I know one thing. If you're going to come to me with a problem or you feel that there's something that needs to be changed, you got to have me have some suggestions. And that's how you deal with that. You can't allow other people's insecurities because it's not even jealousy. I can't even say that's jealousy. That's not jealousy. That's insecurities because a lot of times when you're out there doing this and you're doing this, that makes administration look over there and say, well, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are the certified one. And Miss So and so does more than you. Then that is kind of looking kind of lopsided. They want you to stop what you're doing. Do not stop your fine works. Like I said, you be humble in all things. Do what you're just doing what you're asked to do. And that goes even between people who are teacher and teacher. It can happen between a teacher and another teacher, counselor and a teacher. When you're competent, just be competent, be humble, know your job. I stay in my lane. Only time I get out of my lane is if the principal asks me to get out of it. And if you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're doing, hey, this is what some principal administration asked me to do, I'm not I'm not faltering on my other duties, my primary duties. I'm doing those and then I can do what he's or she is asking me to. You can't worry about it. And for those who might feel like someone's doing the most, don't worry about it. They're not doing the most. They're doing something you don't have to do. That's the way I look at it. If they're doing it, that means I don't have to do it. If they're doing it good, more power to them. Let me help you be a better person. But never, never, never feel that I need to sit back or you feel like I need to talk to the principal because I hear they be talking about I'm doing. If you want to, you can, but I really don't feel that's going to solve anything. We all grown folks. And I'm gonna tell you, and I know how you feel because I felt that way too. I used to hate it when someone say, "Oh, you teach principal's pet." When I first started, so I know what you might feel. Or why are you always complaining, Dad? I'm doing what the principal's asking me to do. Just keep doing, and don't even complain about it. Don't even worry about it because once again, sunlight disinfects, and all will be seen. You be competent in what you do. You be sure what you're doing. Do your job first. Make sure you're doing your basic job first before you go and do anything else because you don't want to be laxing in your basic job. But once you've done that, go on and do whatever you have to do. Like I said, this is not just for paraprofessionals and a teacher, but it's for teachers and teachers because teachers and teachers feel the same way. Uh, Administrator and teacher, whatever the case may be. Hey, if they have that person doing that particular job and you feel like they shouldn't be doing it, all I can say to you is you start working harder or you put yourself in a position or put you in a position that you can be asked. But in my book, I have no problem with spreading wealth. And that's the way we're here, we're educating kids. We're not working for Fortune 500, even though it's ran like a business. And this is one soft skill. I'm guaranteeing you be competent in what you do. If you're confident in what you do, it breeds confidence. So that was just my little didactic chatter for today. It was on my mind. I was thinking about it. A lot of people talk about it. I felt that way long, long, long time ago. That ended long time ago because I had a principal tell me, "You just don't know how great you are. You just don't know how great you are." And when you find out how great you are, you don't care what no one else thinks. And I don't care if you want to be a parapro or custodian for the rest of your born days and retire out of it. Doesn't mean you can't help with the rest of the school. And it doesn't mean as a teacher, I don't want you to help. I want you to help. If you know how to do something that's a little better than me and the principal feel like, hey, let's do this, let's get on that committee, bring your skills and your gifts. That's what we're here for. And that's what we do in my consultancy is work with the school environment. Because once you have the soft skills down and we all working together, then we can do anything. We can work on test scores. We can work on behavior. But if the teachers are not really getting along, if the teachers really don't trust each other, I'm not talking about going and smoking and drinking and going out to the mall with each other, but there is a certain level of respect and camaraderie that we all must have as educators. And if we don't have that, we can't scaffold onto anything else. We can't work with the little people looking up at us if they see that there's something going on with us. Things are not going to go great all the time, but you can work on it. Is constant work. And a great thing about soft skills, you don't. It's nothing that you got. It's not a test. It's not a new lesson plan template. It's not a new curriculum. It's everyday skills but you work on them. You work them on your pace. You incorporate them little by little as you need fit. All I do is give you the tools. We do the role playing. We open your eyes to the different scenarios, and you say, "Oh, yeah, I can understand this. I can see how this could be a problem." That you don't even realize what you're doing, and that's what soft skills do. So the soft skill of competency. Competency breeds confidence. Trust me, it works. It works every time. So I'm gonna let you all go. Thank you for joining me. Uh, hey, let's get a conversation going. Let's talk more. If you had a scenario and you felt this happened to you before, let's talk about it. Leave it in the comments. Reach me, ultradidactic.com, and we could talk more about soft skills, period. So until then, be kind and it will be returned to you. Bye-bye.